Let's look at some arguments against fertility treatment. Firstly, there are four key arguments. One involves surrogacy, the other three are involving other areas. So firstly, an argument against AID, artificial insemination by donor, and surrogacy is through the Ten Commandments. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Surely if you are involving another party in your birth, such as a sperm donor, a doctor, or a surrogate mother, you are committing adultery because someone else is involved in the bringing about of your child. Secondly, the commandment, thou shalt not murder, or the sanctity of life argument could be used in this discussion as well. If I'm doing IVF, I am destroying embryos. So the idea that you knit me together in my mother's womb, alongside the quote, thou shalt not murder, tells you that if life begins at conception, when the sperm meets the egg, and you've got these growing embryos, and then you're destroying them, that could be considered murder, and therefore against the sanctity of life principle, the gift of God of life given by God to each of those embryos. Another argument could be that children are a gift from God, and only God can make life. This would be the playing God argument. Who can make straight what God has made crooked? This would be telling you, therefore, that if you made, if you have been found yourself to be unable to have a child, that's how God has made you. It's not your role to start to interfere with God's plan, and it's maybe a test from God. Could be showing a lack of self-discipline potentially if you're choosing to maintain, to overarch God's test on you of infertility. A final argument, which is an issue about the relationship between the surrogate mother and the child. So let's say the surrogate mother has gone through this process, you said 9 months of something growing within her womb, and then she gives birth to this child who she's been very connected to throughout this time. How hard will it be for her to then give that child back to the parents? It's a very psychologically challenging thing to do. Alongside this, if I am paying the person to grow that child within themselves, it suggests a certain materialistic element to the raising of children, which some people would disagree with as well.